Hi dearies, good day to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed your semester break, and yes, welcome to our second session of the semester. So left about I think 6 or 7 more weeks for us to complete. So today we are going to go into our chapter 5. So without wasting the time further, let's look into chapter 5. Okay, so chapter 5 is what we're going to learn all about mobile and social media marketing. So this chapter is a chapter which is closely related to us and closely related to usage of mobile and closely related to all kind of social media platforms. So I'm very sure whatever that we are going to learn today is something which is very familiar to you, but we are just going to put it in terms of theory and in terms of some deep knowledge about what exactly all this about. You might have heard about m-commerce, e-commerce, social media platforms and all that. So what we are going to today, we are really going to look at what exactly a mobile, a social media marketing and all that. Okay, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be very close to your heart. Okay, let's start with our why can't I just slide mine? Let's start, just give me a moment. Okay, so let's get started. Our takeaway today, so what you're going to learn exactly today is going to be about mobile commerce. So we're going to look a little bit on the introduction of mobile, okay, and then we're going to look at social media marketing and tracking and analyzing social campaigns. So this is what we are going to look at today. But the most important part here, or I would say the core of the topic, would be mobile commerce and social media marketing. Of course, we're going to look at the tracking and analyzing social campaign, but we might not dive deep into it. Okay, we might just walk through it. Okay, so without further ado, let's just look into the first part. I'm not sure why the slide, you're not able to see the full word of the slide. Never mind, let's just start it. The first mobile phone. Okay, so if you see, almost about, I would say, a lot of us, or almost every one of us here, owns a mobile phone. Okay, some of you might still have landline back at your home, but I think the usage of landline is so minimum already now that everyone holds a mobile phone. Even our grandpa holds a mobile phone, and they are just so active in WhatsApp, Facebook and all that. You see, like about few days back, I think about like 1 or 2 weeks back, I logged onto my Facebook and suddenly I saw someone send me a friend request. And when I explore the profile, and I got to know it's my mom. My mother got a Facebook and she sent me a friend request. Oh my god, I was so shocked to see that. Okay, so you see how technology has evolved, and even the old generation, the less educated generation, they are already exploring the social media and already exploring the mobile. So let's just look the first mobile phone. So the very first mobile phone was not really a mobile phone, because it was used as a two-way radios, for taxi drivers, mainly as an emergency service to communicate. Okay, this happened like in the European countries, okay, where they use this as a two-way radio communication. So Motorola, if you're not sure, okay, Motorola phone is not so famous already, but back when mobile phone was first introduced, Motorola was one of the company which produces at that point of time high-tech mobile phones. Okay, so on 3rd April 1973 were the first company to mass produce the first handheld mobile phone. You see, the earlier stage of mobile phone, this is how it looks like. Can you see this? I'm not sure how many of you actually use this, the artificial as a water bottle when you were in kindergarten. Honestly, when I were in kindergarten, standard 1, standard 2, I had this water bottle in the form of mobile phone. So funny, right? Those days. Okay, so yeah, some of you can recall that. So these early mobile phone are often referred to 0G. Okay, now we are already into 5G network. So when it was newly introduced, it was under 0G, okay, or zero generation mobile phone. So now we already evolved to 3G, 4G, and the latest one is up to 5G already. Okay, so you see how the technology has evolved. So let us look into, straight away go into mobile commerce. And before that, the first, of course Motorola was the first, but in the beginning of 2000, in the early of 2000, Nokia was one of the company, or Nokia was at the top of producing smartphone, and Nokia was the first company to produce smartphone. But just because they are not able to go according to the technology's advancement, they back off in their business and they sold to Microsoft. Okay, so let us look at mobile commerce. But before that, you might have a doubt, Miss, what is mobile commerce and what is the difference with what is the difference with e-commerce? You see, mobile commerce, another short name for it is m-commerce, whereas e-commerce, okay, e-commerce is a website where you use internet. But Miss, what is the difference between mobile commerce and e-commerce? Mobile commerce also uses internet. Okay, mobile commerce uses purely phones, okay, where you do your transactions using online medium, using internet, and through your phone or via your phone. That is mobile commerce. Okay, whereas e-commerce means there is a website and where you use your desktop, you use your laptop to do your transactions. Okay, so as to put it in a simpler term, e-commerce means it's an umbrella, whereas m-commerce works as a subcategory or subset of e-commerce. Example of e-commerce, a very good example of e-commerce, like cimb.com.my, okay, sunway.edu.my, so the whole website. Whereas m-commerce is the apps like CIMB Clicks apps, Lazada apps, Island apps, okay, Sunway apps. So whatever or whichever activities that you perform using your smartphone, it is what you call as mobile commerce. This is what we are really going to look at today. Okay, so it is essentially way of carrying thousands and millions of retail shops in your pocket, in your smartphone. So if you see, through our mobile phone, through our smartphone, we can just download a lot of apps depending on your mobile phone's storage, and you see there are thousands and millions of retail shop where you can just carry in your pocket in the form of applications. Okay, so mobile commerce refers to business or purchases conducted over mobile phone. Okay, and it's okay, mobile commerce is including all this selling and selling and buying activities using your mobile phone. And in such a world where we are in the advancement of technology, if you look at it, social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Insta, they launch buy buttons on their platforms. Okay, if you scroll down your Instagram, okay, you can see an advertisement, buy now, click here to buy. Okay, so when you click on that, it will redirect you. Some of it will land you on their website, some of you will redirect you to their app, to their retail apps. Okay, so that's how m-commerce works. So it enabling users to conveniently make purchases from other retailers directly from their social media sites. Okay, if you scroll down your Facebook, you can see a lot of pages, okay, where you can just browse, a lot of retailers where you can browse and you can buy your items. Okay, so let us look deep into mobile commerce. Okay, of course, when I mention about mobile commerce, you can conduct sales of goods, provide services, make payments through PayPal, okay, and other financial transaction, and even you can exchange information. So these are the bases of mobile commerce. Okay, and if you look at mobile commerce, it is also about exploiting new opportunities which involve the advancement of new technologies, new services, business models, and marketing strategies. Okay, and if you see a lot of, or I would say like almost all the mobile phones or all the smartphones now, they have different characteristics that desktop different characteristics than desktop computers. It means like if you look at desktop computers, maybe some of the characteristics are limited, but when it comes to mobile phone, the characteristics are vast. Okay, where you can download a lot of apps and all that. Okay, so what is the main goal of application of m-commerce? So if you look at the main goal of m-commerce, it is a transaction of buying and selling goods and services just at a one click of using your mobile commerce, using your mobile phone or smartphone to make life convenient and easy for the consumer. Once again, I repeat, the main objective of the application of m-commerce or mobile commerce, okay, is where they want to ease the life of customers, okay, make the life of customers easier with the transaction of buying and selling of goods and services just using your smartphones, your mobile phones. Okay, and let us move on to the types of m-commerce. Okay, actually I inserted pictures here. Unfortunately, I'm recording using my phone, but I created this PowerPoint using my laptop, so I'm not sure why the particular picture image is not popping out. Okay, never mind, you can go through the slides on your island, okay, and then you can just look at the images, like it's just an image. Okay, so there are three types of m-commerce or mobile commerce which we are going to look into today, and all these are very familiar to you. I'm very sure very familiar to you. Okay, the first one is shopping commerce. Okay, shopping commerce, which we love to have it. Okay, and a very good example of shopping commerce is like Lazada, Shopee. Okay, all these are shopping commerce where you use your mobile phone and internet to do your shopping, okay, at your own convenience. Okay, and it allows customers to purchase a product, okay, using mobile device, and you can use directly an application like Amazon, Lazada, Shopee. Okay, there are a lots of vast applications, okay, that you can download, you can keep it, and whenever you want to do your shopping, you can do it over your phone. Same goes to Food Panda, Grab Food. Okay, all this comes under shopping commerce, shopping m-commerce. The second type of m-commerce, okay, what you can do through your mobile commerce is payment m-commerce or payment mobile commerce. Payment mobile commerce means where you use digital means, you use your online or you use your mobile to make payments. Okay, and normally it uses to pay bills, purchase goods and services. Okay, and let's say, okay, now a very good example of a payment commerce is e-wallet. Okay, or we call it as digital wallet, where you can actually save or store some amount on your e-wallet, and you can start to make digital payments, which means you don't need to carry your cash everywhere, or you don't need to carry your card also. or in short, you don't need to carry a wallet, and you don't need a wallet already. So which means mobile works as a tool for you to communicate, as a tool for you to do your shopping, as a tool for you to make your payment. How easy our life is, and how much it's making us lazy. Right or not? Sometimes it makes us lazy. Last time we like to go shopping, we like to walk around. Okay, it's a form of exercise, but of course, advancement of technology, there is a good side, and also there is a bad side of it. Okay, so so payment commerce is like even PayPal. Okay, let's say if you go for Food Panda, okay, if you go for Grab, okay, at the end of the transaction, you can choose to make payment through credit card, through PayPal, okay, or through your online banking. So this is how payment and commerce works, okay, or we call it as a digital wallet. Those Apple users, those of you who are Apple users, you can use Apple Pay. Okay, Apple Pay work as a digital wallet for you. So there is a specific application for those Apple users. So cool, right? Okay, and you can even make payment through PayPal. So sometimes some of you might have PayPal account, you can just make payment through PayPal. Okay, next type of m-commerce or mobile commerce is banking commerce. So banking commerce is, of course, you use your phone to perform different banking related activities. Okay, as you know, Maybank to you, CIMB clicks. Okay, so all these are form of banking mobile commerce where you can just do, I would say, almost all the transaction activities, banking activities, using your mobile phone. Okay, and this is typically done through a secure and dedicated application, since it involves money, since it involves transaction of cash. So it is highly secure and through a dedicated apps. Okay, so that is banking and commerce. And during this pandemic season, where we are not allowed to really jam into outlets, banks, okay, we are allowed to do a lot of activities, or we are encouraged to do a lot of, or to perform a lot of banking activities just using online banking. Okay, so that is about m-commerce. But before I go into social media marketing, I just want to share to you advantages of m-commerce, which there's no information on this slide. Okay, you can just jot down your own notes on that. So advantages of m-commerce, of course, something very familiar. It's convenient and easy to use, easy to conduct all the business transaction, and it has wide varieties or wide reach. It means like everyone can sit in their comfort chair, and you can just one click, two clicks, few clicks, you can perform your transaction. And it helps business target their customers. And m-commerce, mobile commerce, can also be a good marketing tool when you want to perform your business now. Okay, when you have, even if you have a retail shop, a physical shop, what people will look for: do you have an apps, do you have website, do you have online store that is convenience for us to purchase. So this could be a good marketing tool. And the cost is so much cheaper as compared to brick and mortar, as compared to a physical shop. Because a physical shop, you need to pay the rent, you need to pay the utility, okay, you need to store, you need place to store your items and all that. But when it comes to online store, or when it comes to online business, you don't need to pay rental, you don't need to pay for your utilities, because you can just do it as a virtual business, and the processing cost is also low. So these are some of the advantages of m-commerce. You see, every good thing, there will be the negative side of it. Okay, so what are the disadvantages of m-commerce? Okay, of course, the initial setup price would be very expensive. Of course, when I say the cost, you can reduce the cost, but for you to initially build a website, for you to initially build an app, will cost you a penny, will cost you a lot of money, especially if you want to hire someone professional to create an excellent website or to create a convenient apps. It will cost you a lot, so which means the beginning cost is rather expensive, but this would be a great startup cost. And sometimes many complications could arise if your particular website or your particular payment system or your application is not being set up properly. Because if your since it uses online medium, internet, IT, some complications could arise which can frustrate the customers, and customers might leave your app or might not feel convenient using your app. Okay. And another big issue of mobile commerce is the issue of security. You see, as I mentioned earlier, let's say if you use Apple phone, iPhone, okay, the security is quite high. But in such cases also, there are still people who will hack our online system, our online banking, which is where your private information, the safety for your private information is minimum there. So the possibilities of a data to be leaked is there. Okay, so in terms of security, it is still a question there. Okay, so these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of mobile commerce, which is closely related to us. Okay, guys, you're okay, can follow? I hope you can follow me. Okay, so those are the m-commerce, some things that you need to know. Okay, let's just recall a little bit. Okay, m-commerce means where you use the mobile phone to perform your buying and selling activities, and when you do your shopping as well. And then we looked at types of m-commerce, which is first is shopping m-commerce, where you perform your shopping through Lazada, Amazon, Shopee using your mobile. Payment m-commerce, which means you make your payments, like you pay your utility bill, you pay your all kind of bills, maybe through PayPal or through your banking service. And banking m-commerce, where you perform all your banking activities using your mobile phone through the bank's apps like CIMB Clicks or Maybank to you. Okay, the next subtopic is going to be very interesting as it is closely related to us, which is social media. Okay, you see, I personally prefer to use Instagram, Facebook, and I like to read blogs, especially if I want to go travel, I want to find some information about food or some places. I would love to read blogs. Okay, Insta, I use Insta mainly to share my pictures, share my short thoughts. Okay, and subscribe to some pages, some official pages which I feel would be useful for me to enhance my life. For example, Facebook is much more entertaining, where I join a lot of groups in Facebook. Okay, and I share a lot of quotes, I share something that I love, something that I read, maybe some songs. You see, I feel Facebook has more features that is exciting, and you can share, and more things you can do using Facebook. There's also a marketplace under Facebook where you can actually use it as a marketing tool for you to advertise your products, okay, or services. WhatsApp, as usual, all of us are more addicted to it. Okay, don't deny. Yes, I'm addicted to it. Okay, especially during this MCO period. Okay, Twitter, the other day I actually signed up for Twitter, but then I got a little bit annoyed because news was keep coming in and I don't really know how to use it, to be honest. It is still pending for my checkups. Pinterest is a very good platform as well. I like to use Pinterest, okay, especially if you want to get some ideas and insights. Yes, you can use Pinterest and you can actually bot your idea, you can pin your idea and you can save it. Example of ideas that I actually try to find through Pinterest is like, okay, I want to get an idea how to decorate my living room. Okay, what kind of colors can I choose, what kind of furnitures can I choose? So I go to Pinterest and then I find some details. I try to find some details, okay, and then if there are some pictures, some images which I feel it's attractive, I want to do the same to my house, to my home, then I just pin it. It means like I just save it, okay. Or if you're someone who loves to bake, for example, you can use Pinterest to find some recipes, for example. So a lot of things you can do using Pinterest, and I feel like you can actually gain a lot of existing information using Pinterest. Tumblr, I never use it before. Tumblr is more to blog, but before you go into blogs, before you start writing blogs, maybe Tumblr should be something that you can start off, a short maybe a short version of blog, I would say. YouTube, something very much knowledge, very much informative. And YouTube, I would say YouTube is actually an online tutor for us. It means like whatever that you want to learn, you can just YouTube it, okay. Even sometimes some things, some features that I'm not sure how to explore in the Moodle, in the island, I simply watch a YouTube video and I learn from there. So you can choose, there will be videos which is lengthy, which is I'm sure you know about it, I'm sure you are expert than me on all these, right or not, okay. So these are the some of the social media platforms, okay. Now let us look into this part, why measuring social media is important, okay. First of all, social media will tell you which marketing area are success and which are not for your business, which doesn't fit your business, and which part needs improvement for your business, okay. And your management won't be impressed with the number of hearts or emojis, but they are more interested in social media ROI, okay, and the increase of brand awareness. You see, now because of the existence of social media, things can get so viral in seconds and in minutes, in the matter of seconds and in matter of minutes, okay. Especially through Facebook, something happened, everything is through Facebook. You see the latest case where in US, where a policeman actually brutally killed a black man, okay, where things, though it is happening somewhere in the corner of the earth, but still so fast things gone viral, and all of us got to know about the information, about the news that people are protesting, and they already went into the White House and people are talking about it everywhere. Okay, George Floyd is the person's name, is the victim's name, was the victim's name, okay. So you see how all these are creating viral information for us to reach, and how some of it creating brand awareness. Certain brands, they are using social media to create the awareness of the brand, to say, hey, you see, our brand exists in the market, and these are the things that we are doing using our brand, for example, okay. So how do you actually measure your social media campaign, which means when you set a social media business, when you want to do a campaign using social media, how do you measure? First of all, you should set your goals, okay. And then set your goals means like, what exactly do you want to do, what exactly do you want to reach, how many audience that you want to reach, and then you should choose the right metrics, The right metric means the total number of mentions containing the keywords. It means like how far your message should be spread. You should choose that, okay, whether you want your message to be spread to 10,000 people, you want your message to be spread to 1 million people, more than that. So you should set the right metrics, and you should actually show who should be talking about you. What impact do they have by using your product, or by getting to know about your product and your services? So this will help you to analyze and to measure your social media campaign. Okay, and in short, this is all about social media that you need to know for your level. Okay, so let me just wrap up. What you need to know when it comes to social media means, what are the functions of each of these social media, and how can you measure your social media campaign. Okay, so these are the things that you need to know for this topic. Okay, and I will have a tutorial questions for you on how to measure a social media campaign. Okay, where I want you to do a little bit more research. I have explained to you very briefly, if you see. Okay, I explained to you very briefly, and I expect you to do some extent of research on your social media campaign, where I would, for this week's tutorial, I would actually provide you the question where you have to work as a team to complete it. Okay, and that topic would be on how to measure your social media campaign. I've given you a very brief explanation on that, with the expectation you are going to share to me the detailed information about it. Okay guys, so that's it for this week's session. Yeah, this is rather a very short topic. So the wrap up is, we looked at mobile commerce, we looked at three types of mobile commerce, and then we looked at social media. You see, social media, I don't need to like sit and theory you on social media, because you are expert than me in social media. So for your level, for our level here, what you exactly need to know is, what are the functions of each of the social media, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of each of it. Okay, so if you have any further question, you can always ask me. I'm ready to help you further. Okay guys, that's it. Take care, have a great day. Bye.